couple of you have asked my thoughts on Dr. Taleb Al Abdulmohsen, the Saudi psychiatrist who just rammed his car into a crowd of innocent people at a Christmas village in Germany. I spent the last 2 hours looking through his X feed, and what I can tell you is this guy is not a Muslim extremist. This guy is an ex-Muslim atheist who is rabidly anti-Islam, and most of his posts are about trying to stop Islamic immigration to the West, and Germany in particular, where he's lived since 2009. But one thing he's particularly interested in is helping Saudi ex-Muslims move to Germany and build lives there. And the last post he made before he committed this attack was about 3 Saudi sisters who were being helped by an atheist agency that helps refugees, but were being sexually harassed by one of the directors of this organization. And he actually provided video evidence to back this up. And basically, these girls had reached out to the German police and weren't getting any help. And Dr. Taleb concluded that the reason this was happening is because the German government was actively persecuting these women because the German government wants to promote the Islamification of Europe. So he decided that the only way he could bring attention to the plight of these ignored women was to copy the people he hated the most and commit a terrorist attack in Germany. And the sad irony of this is that a couple of these Saudi women he was trying to help actually reached out to the German police and warned them that something like this was probably going to happen from this guy because he was talking about it, but there was no help and this evil act was not prevented. Now, whenever something like this happens, people are very quick to try and throw this into a pre-existing narrative, trying to blame Islamic terrorism. That doesn't fit this time. This guy was an atheist. People want to say, well, this is just a problem with your right-wing extremism. But even then, that doesn't really fit either, because a party with legitimate concerns about immigration are trying to prevent things like this from happening. They don't want to actually see things like this happen. And if we try and blame them for this, this is insincere. But what I do think we need to talk about is over the last several decades, the West has taken in a lot of immigrants, a lot of refugees, a lot of asylum seekers. And I personally believe that it's a good thing that we help people in need. But what I can say from my personal experience with this is that so many people have been taken in that the government and the resettlement agencies cannot properly take care of everyone who's here. And what you get is a great deal of people who have left their home society because they don't feel safe, but also don't feel welcome here in the West either. And a lot of these people are absolutely miserable and live in dark, isolated pockets. And this darkness devoid of light creates space for all sorts of very dangerous ideologies, very dangerous things to happen that are going to affect both the isolated people and the rest of us in the West as well. So as a civilization, we need to do a better job at actually getting to know our neighbors who are immigrants, refugees, asylum seekers, for a couple of reasons. One, so that people who come here who really need help actually get that help. So they have American friends, they have European friends, they're properly able to integrate and have a good life in our societies, rather than just creating this permanent underclass in our inner cities, which no one needs. Secondly, as we get to know everyone and put more light on the situation, the more chance we have of actually stopping something like this happening in the future. And finally, this hits really close to home for me because I've spent the last 10 years getting to know a lot of Saudis. And a lot of Saudis who I really, really love and who are very special to me. Some of them are committed Muslims, some of them are ex-Muslims, some of them love the Saudi government, some of them hate the Saudi government. But we really need to not paint all Saudis with the brush of this one guy, all Muslims with the brush of this one guy, or all ex-Muslims with the brush of this guy. As Christians, we need to see every single person as an image bearer of God who are innocent until proven guilty. And we're not going to solve the problems in our society only by building bigger borders and treating foreigners with suspicion. We actually need to make some tangible steps to welcome people, to get to know people, to work to see transformation in people's lives. And by doing that, we can actually see the transformation of the nations that we live in and see them be a safer, more prosperous and happier place for us and for people in need.